So this has to be the saddest amount of bracing internally on any modern sports sedan, coupe, whatever. Now I know. The R18 Civic sedan is not a sports coupe, but the SI is. But today we're going to change all of them. Welcome to Garb Car Garage. What's up, people? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Garb Car Garage, and we're going to be working on Garber 2, finally getting her back out of the garage and getting some things done. So one thing I've noticed with this car, and the 8th Gen Civic in general, is there's very, very little bracing in the back. So today we're going to fix that. So we're turning to a Japanese company called Cusco. Now, Cusco doesn't have an extremely large presence here in North America, but they're huge in Japan, and they make a lot of parts specific that you can't find other North American companies or companies that sell in North America. Now, they're huge into rally, they have some Super GT sponsorships, and they're really famous for some electronically controlled coilovers. But we're not going that big. So what we're going to be doing is putting in a rear cross member, kind of like a rear strut bar that doesn't really go to the strut towers because of the suspension of the Civic, and some lateral bracing as well. How JDM is this company? This JDM. The stickers on the bars are entirely in Japanese. The bar itself feels like a nice solid construction. Now it does come with hardware and instructions in the bag. So you get the instructions out. You can see that they are entirely in Japanese. The only thing in English on the entire instructions is this product is designed for use in Japan only. It must not be used in any other country. So we're going to do the best we can to decipher these by the pictures. Now, from how this looks, this bar should attach behind the seats and kind of link the areas of the strut towers together. The other portion is another Cusco product. Now, this one is kind of like a lateral bar. This is going to be connecting the sides of the car, I guess, right down to the center brace where the gas tank is. So this is supposed to be eliminating a lot of the rear flex, and I did find this thing gets real loose in the back end, especially if you're throwing it around pretty hard. I'm hoping that the suspension makes a huge difference on it. I'm really thrilled with the coloring and the quality of these parts. Does look really good. So we're going to get out to the garage, we're going to get these boxes opened up, and hopefully we'll be able to install this thing with no problem. So we're back inside Garber 2. We've got the area nicely exposed because there's still no interior in this car. And we've got our strut bar. So let's get this thing opened up. So inside, in addition to our instructions, we've got a nice Cusco decal, which I'll likely put on the face of the bar. Got a hardware kit with only 4 bolts in it, meaning there should only be 4 bolts to install. And we got the bar itself. Now this bar looks extremely high quality. The nice thing about it is the threads for those bolts appear to be in the heads of these. So very likely these empty slots here, I'm assuming, from what I saw online, this looks like where it should go. So let's turn to the instructions. Instructions are 100% in Japanese, which I do not read. Step 1, remove lower seat cushion. Step 2, remove bolts for rear seat cushion. Done that one too. Step 3, remove rear seat cushion. This has got to be one of my easier installs. It's step 4 and I haven't even touched the tool yet. Step 4, remove some of the carpeting on the inside, and probably on the SI or SIR there's some sort of factory bar because it shows hardware there, which again we don't have. Step 4 is finished. On to step 5, which is install the bar. We're going to have to loosen these up because these are tight on there, and I think we're just going to put this in place, tighten it up, and we're going to call the first part of this a day. Tight from the factory. And lastly, we've got the business card / product code on here. And there's our FD chassis code. I'm assuming the 1.8 means also for RAT. So that looks like it lines up there pretty easily. Now let's tighten up the back portions of it on the pivots, and this should be all wrapped up and good to go, at least the rear bar. Bolts are all hand tight. Let's get the driver out, let's give him a little wrap. we're going to place that Cusco sticker right in the center of the bar. Just going to peel off the blue. So thanks to having almost everything else removed on it, this was a pretty straightforward install. Now we've got the second brace, which, judging by kind of what I saw in the ads, should go like from here to here. We'll soon find out. I'm gonna get the package, we'll tear it open, we'll see how good my attempting to decipher Japanese pictures is. Hopefully, this will go almost as smooth as the first one. Instructions, hardware. So this one again gives us 4 volt, 2 plates with nuts welded on the back of them, and then the bars themselves. 4 pages of instructions on this one, but it's still telling me that this product is designed for use in Japan only. Yeah. Page 2. Step 1, remove seat. Step 2, remove rear seat back bolts. Step 3, remove seat. Step 4, disconnect third brake light. Step 5, remove rear pillar covers. Step 6, remove fuel pump cover. Removed. Now it also looks like it wants us to remove the factory SI strut bar, the one we just installed. But because I just installed it, I'm not going to do that. Hopefully I can work around it. Step 5, I have to remove this. The rear deck lid cover is going to have to at least partially come out. Looks like, I think those holes there to the top of the fuel pump cover is where those bars run. So I'm assuming we're going to have to drop those threaded inserts in there, and that should complete the process. But before we go and drop that insert in there, what I want to do first, clean up this ugly, nasty, rotted out fuel pump cover. Now I do have one I pulled from a scrapyard and painted. This thing looks 1,000 times better than the one that's currently in the car. Not that you'll ever see it. We'll get this one out, switch them over, and we'll drop that threaded insert in, get those bolts tightened down, and this one should be done too. Rotten. So I just need to disconnect the fuel pump, pull the wire through, and now I can get the new one installed. Rotten, gross, ooh, nice and fresh. Let's get these inserts out, and hopefully they'll drop in all nice. Looks like one per side, so one would hook that way, one will hook this way. We'll figure it out as we're getting in there. Okay, so we got that big hole there. Should drop this in. And we can kind of see them there, so good, we're in a good spot. We got them both started. Don't want to tighten them all the way because we're going to need to put that fuel pump plate back over. So let's go to the other side, drop that nightmare of a plate in, and hopefully button this thing up before midnight. Both of the cross members are hand tied at the top, no bolt in the bottom. I really didn't want to put this disgusting thing back on. Again, you're not going to see it, but I pulled one at the scrapyard and got it painted up, match that front cross member, and to go with the blue on this. So we'll get this one installed, drop it down, tighten everything up, and all the bracing is as good as done.
Let's run a train. Let's run a train. Let's run a train.
I'll just drop this in.
Let's run a train.
I am going to try and start these by hand so as not to cross thread the heck out of everything. Yeah, that feels okay. All that's left now is to snap that top panel back in place, and we're as good as gold. So, do these things do anything? Or are they just really pretty nice bars that you'll never see once the seat's in? Well, let's have a look. How much of a connection to the chassis have they made? I can feel the car pulling against the brake. This is directly connected to the chassis of the vehicle. This is definitely stiffer than it was before. So the rear braces are installed in the vehicle, and I can definitely feel by hand, the rigidity increased in the Civic. So I'm super excited to get this thing back together and get it on the road. Now this was a relatively low cost option. We're looking at about a total of $300 to $400 in braces, depending on the sales you can grab them at. I grabbed them here locally from a speed shop in Toronto, and I'm very impressed with what I've got so far. I'd like to thank everyone for taking the time to watch me today. I'd like to thank DJ Smokey for being the exclusive music provider here at Garb Car Garage. You can check them out at iTunes, Spotify, and SoundCloud. And I'd like you to like and subscribe. If you like what you saw, drop me a like, drop me a subscribe, drop me a suggestion, drop me a hint. Just, interact. I try and get back to as much as possible. Thank y'all for watching again, and we'll see you in the next video.
That's all, folks.